The money gets stuck together. My bitch, she bad as ever. My niggas, they rich forever. Better go get your shit together. I get racks, I need more, I ain't selling. Get a pack and I'm pushing and peddling. I ain't fucking with him, he irrelevant. If she give me the, I ain't telling it. When I first met Lil Baby, he was trapping it. Buzz down, wrist came from Elliot. I crashed in the pussy like an accident. When I caught a lamb and I mad at it. Bust it down AP 012. You should buy a bag from a hotel. He ain't getting back shit, nigga, oh well. And the sick man rich, he ain't ours. Last year was a shot, and my flow is so tip top notch, cause I'm on my raps like a hip hop cop. Why oh my, Miss Mary J, I am so obliged for you to involve Weezy, baby. I told my mom and she went crazy. She said, son, that's a good look for you, and she wanted me to let you know that she would cook for you. But back to the subject, something you could dance to. Swizzy is a vandal, Wizzy is a candle, and we are crack, smack, and never whack like I never had a caddy. I would never laugh, and I would never lie, I would never say, never will I ever say, never, cause I never gave up. Whatever, it's whatever. I be with bad guys and good fellas. Yeah, you're jealous, and we're not.com. Email us. Yeah, I did a joint with Mary J. Blige. My nigga. Let it go. Can't let this thing called love get away from you. Feel free right now, go do what you wanna do. Can't let nobody take it away from you, from me, from we. No time for moping around. Are you kidding? And no time for negative vibes, cause I'm winning. It's been a long week, I put in my hardest. Wanna live my life, feels so good to get it right. So I like to see when I'm looking at me when I'm walking past the mirror. Stressed through the night at a time in my life, ain't worried about if you feel it. Got my head on straight, I got my vibe right, I ain't gonna let you kill it. I won't change my life, just when you're doing all the things that you wanna do. You're the best that I like, treat yourself to something new. You head up high in yourself, believe in you, believe me. Has been a really good time. I'm not complaining, and I'ma still wear the smile. If it's raining, enjoy myself regardless. I appreciate life. I'm so glad that I find. So I'm not gonna see when I'm looking at me when I'm walking past the mirror. Don't worry about you and what you're gonna do. I'm a lady, so I must stay fast. Gotta keep it high, keep it together. If I want to get better, I wouldn't change my life,
Oh, it ain't started yet.
Yeah,
know.
I got 4 minutes.
You got 4 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yep, go ahead. Okay. Is anybody back yet? Okay, yep, some people back.
Mic check, mic check. Am I muted? Can you hear me in the chat? All right, who is in the building, in the virtual building? Type your name in the chat and let me know that you are back. I'm looking for ya. Oh, there we go. I hear me. Make sure you didn't step away from your computer. Latanya. Sylvia. Hey, Tamika. Are you there? Okay, hold on. I see somebody chatting. I can hear you. Hey, Tabitha. Oh, let me get, oh, well, the camera ain't on, I don't think.
Yeah, I can put it on. Here you
Oh, good. You can hear me? Hey, darling. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, are you going to be on stage or the floor? Okay. She got her stuff up here. Hey, y'all. Y'all ready? All right, y'all. So listen, we about to get ready. Are we live online too? Okay, awesome. Well, we getting ready to get started. We said we were going to be back at 2:30. It's 2:34. We're going to keep this party moving. We have none other than Taria Vision Avant coming in all the way from Atlanta. She's been helping me out and doing a marvelous job for those of you all that are online. But she is going to be talking about how to generate $10,000 per month in your business with your book. How to turn your book into $10,000 per month. I met Taria. It's funny. I met Taria at Power Networking Conference when it was in Houston. What was that? 2019. And so she is the queen. What are you doing? She is the queen of book profits. Love to hear her teach. Love to hear her present on some of the strategies that she implements and how she actually uses her book, several books actually, in order to get speaking engagements, get clients. And so without further ado, I am going to bring to the stage, to the virtual stage and the physical stage, none other than Taria Vision Avant. Give it up for Taria!
Yay! Okay, let me plug this in and turn that mic off. Am I on?
Yep.
All right. Well, hey guys, so I am going to be multitasking. I have served 2 roles here for the conference. I've been definitely the Keisha. I came here to support a friend and be able to really help with guiding the streaming. So super excited to have everybody. I'm going to pull up my chat real quick. Hold on, I want to be able to see. Now, for those of you who are watching, if you're watching and, because I asked her if I could, well, I didn't really ask her, I just did it. But we are streaming all over right now for my presentation. And for those of you, I got to take these out. Okay, hold on. Okay, y'all, okay. Look. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, Facebook, and things of that nature, we have had a lineup of amazing speakers. So if you guys want to get the replay of the speakers, you must go to getitchdonelive.com. Getitchdonelive.com, and I'll make sure to keep on announcing that. So hold on, let me pull up the link. One sec, y'all. We are, hold on one sec, guys. Okay, good to go. All right. And pull you up. And then we're going to pull up the PowerPoint. All right, everybody should be able to see the PowerPoint now. And I want to interact with the online audience as well. I have some stuff that I'm going to be giving away. So I just wanted to make sure that y'all can be able to talk with me. So let me enter into the event. For everybody that is watching online, do me a favor, go ahead and type your city and state into the chat. And then, of course, we have our audience that is here back on time from lunch. So give it up to y'all. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, so hold on one sec. Let's grade that second half. Okay. And feed. Awesome. Okay, awesome. So just want to shout out a couple of people as well that are online. I see Angela Wynn, Victoria Blocker, Sylvia. We've got Tabitha. We've got Gwendolyn Calhoun, Leisha Thompson, Tamika Carpenter. Who else do we have? Let's see. So we have a lot of people that are chiming in from online, and I'm going to do a nice little giveaway. So how many of y'all like giveaways? Y'all like giveaways? Y'all like goodies? Yes? So I'm big on, I know y'all eating, so in the midst, because I know y'all be eating and talking. So I'm big on communication, right? So if I say, y'all like to eat, y'all like giveaways, I would like y'all to say, what? Yes. Yeah. Speak it. Do me a favor, y'all, and I want you to know, when doing events, it is so difficult to be on a stage and stare at people, and you like, so how many of y'all want to do it? And y'all just be like, right? It is one of the most challenging things to do. And the way that you actually help a speaker to be their best, because I know think about it, you don't come to an event because you don't want the speaker to be great. You want them to be great, right? So the way that we help is by engaging, by participating. They say, hey, say yes. And what I've come to find is that you actually end up retaining more of the information when you participate, right? So how many of y'all excited about some free gifts? Yes? Woo-hoo! Okay, good. All right. So today we're going to be talking to you guys about how to turn your book or your future book, so you don't even have to be an author to start generating income with your book. And that's one really exciting thing that I love talking about, is because a lot of times people think that I must already be an author to start profiting from my book, right? Oh, I think I need to point it over here. Make sure. Okay, there we go. Now, put your credit cards up, because today, absolutely nothing. When I say I'm giving away some goodies, even to, I think I only have a certain number, so to the first number of people who qualify for this, you guys are going to be walking away. And if you are virtually, I will spend my money and ship you a gift in the mail, should you be one of the first to actually qualify, okay? So I'm giving away some really good gifts, all right? Awesome. I think it's because it's hidden. Now, how many of you guys would like to get this PowerPoint as well as the free gift? So what I'm giving away today is going to be a copy of this book, Don't Go Broke, Trying to Be a Business Owner. This is one of my books that I've written. It comes also with a 24K golden $100 bill as a bookmark. So what you'll need to do to qualify, everybody take your phone out right now, and you're going to text 10K book to this phone number right here. Now, in order to get the book, you're going to follow the instructions. It's going to ask for your name and things like that. And then after the end of the text, it's going to say, hey, first name, here's a link to the PowerPoint. And once you get that text, what I need you to do is come up here, show me the text while I'm talking. So while I'm actually doing the presentation, just walk on up here and I will pass you a book. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah. Are y'all with me? Yeah. So those that follow the instruction, you got to text this right here and you will be walking away with this book today, okay? Now, everybody got the number? Everybody got the code? And for those of you who are watching online, all you need to do is do the same. And then if you're watching online, okay, and you get that final text message, then I just want you to reply to the text message and say, I'm here at Get Ish Done. I'm here at Get Ish Done. Now remember, I only have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it is the first come, first serve, okay? Is that it? Yeah, just send me the text message, Joe. Just let me see the text message. But yep, you got the PowerPoint. You got to walk up here and come and show me the text. See, yep, you got to walk up here and show me the text, yep, and grab you a copy of the book. All right, so that's how you want to do it. If you want it, you have to physically walk up here. It's first come. This one is not, this is mine. This one. These ones. Yep, grab one of those. All right. Now, today we're going to be talking to you guys about why 80% of authors stay broke. Yeah, you have to make sure that you follow all the instructions, and the final text will say, hey, first name, here is the PowerPoint, and this is the link to go to, okay? Why 80% of authors stay broke. We're also going to talk to you guys about how to write the right book and generating the $10,000 book. Is that cool? Yes, yes? Yeah. Okay, good. Awesome. Nope. The text message is going to say, hey, first name, thanks so much. Here is your free giveaway. It's going to actually give you the link to the PowerPoint download. Hey, y'all sit down until you get the text. So as soon as you get the final text that says, here's the link, and it should give you a link to send you the PowerPoint presentation. All right. Now, by the way, how many of you guys are wanting to be in a space of coaching? Yes, yes? No? Just 2 people? How many of you guys are entrepreneurs? Yes, yes? Okay. How many of you guys are just here? Yes, yes? Okay, so those of you guys that are just here, if you did not raise your hand on the first 2, what do you guys do? What do you do? You work with Keisha? I work for her. What for her? Okay, and what is she's texting. Okay, yes.
I work with Carol Reese at Resources Inc.
Okay. Project analyzer.
And I'm a project analyst, but she does consulting and strategic planning.
Okay, cool. Anybody else that's here? So both of you guys work for individuals. You know that still makes you an expertise in a space. That means that you can still be able to educate other people how to do exactly what you do. There's a value in everything that we have. I believe that every single one of us, no matter what it is that we do, who we serve, how we serve, we all have information that we could be able to teach other people. Because right now, somebody is looking up how to be a project analyzer, right? I don't know, what is your title? Coordinator, how to be an effective project coordinator. So I want you guys to think on that terms, because a lot of times when we think about writing a book and being an author, the first thing we think about is writing a biography. And I never ever wrote a book to write a biography. So we're going to talk about how to be profitable and how a book can actually position you and get you on some major stages. Now, how many of you guys, if you are not already an author, know that you have a book in you? If you have a book in you, raise your hand. Let me see. I believe everybody does, right? Absolutely. Everybody here, guys, there is a story to be told, but it is in how you tell the story. Yes, yes? Yes, yes? Yes, yes? All right, let's make sure y'all know. Look, I know y'all getting y'all text on time, but all right. Now, for those of you who are typing in the chat and you're watching online, go ahead and type in the chat space what you do. Now, Maya just showed us how to be able to introduce ourselves, right? So I saw so many of you guys in the chat that were like, ooh, I'm going to update mine right now on how I introduce myself. So everybody here, I want you to, again, think about that. But for time purposes, we're not going to of course, go through all of that. But afterwards, I would definitely love to hear what I call it an intro statement. But if you don't mind, I'd like to introduce myself as well. So my name is Taria. It's pronounced like Maria with a T. Taria Vision Avant. And I am a graduate of Hampton University. So when Ryan said at Hampton University, I was like, whoop, whoop. So shout out to all of my HBCUs in the house. Hello. Hey, hey, hey. And I went to school for computer science, guys. So when I tell you, okay, that's why you see all these gadgets, I am a techie. Also, when Maya talked about being an introvert, if anybody has noticed, I be minding my business right here in my little chair, because until I get on the stage, I'm naturally very introverted as well. In fact, it's so funny because when I did work corporate America, it was back in 2006 was the last time I worked a job. I was the girl who would come into work literally with my headphones on so that I didn't have to talk to nobody, child. Because I was like, don't speak to me. I just want to mind my business, do my work for my little time, and then go home, right? And so that was my personality. So for me to be in a space where I'm actually coaching and teaching individuals, this is nothing what I thought I would be doing, okay? Now, like I told you, introvert, but the blessing is that I've always had like a little bit of an entrepreneur itch in me, right? So for a very long time, I've tried so many different businesses. I mean, I've sold knives, vacuum cleaners, I've done door-to-door sales. I mean, I tried. But see, I always joke and say I was a professional tripreneur. I wasn't really an entrepreneur because I would try everything for about 10 years. I just was trying everything. Give it about 30 days, maybe 60 days. And if it didn't work for me, oh, this thing don't work, right? And so that was my life story. Now, in the midst of me going through entrepreneurship, I started back in 1999, and for 10 years, I had no success. It wasn't until 2009 my life changed, and I've been able to position myself in ways that have been like, I mean, I just can't imagine that I'm where I am, right? TEDx speaker, I've been on a lot of different platforms. I've written more than 15 books, and then also we've helped more than 5,000 speakers, coaches, and network marketers to become authors. Now, this is something that I started to notice. I noticed that a lot of people that were writing their books, the books were getting done. Hallelujah. Praise God. But then I was noticing for like maybe the first 30 days, they might promote their book and get their books out there. But after 30 days was up, it was like I would go check out their social media. Nothing was being done. And I realized, I started looking up statistics that a lot of authors are not profitable. Because the biggest mistakes that authors make is they write a book because they think they're selling a book versus writing a book to sell. What's one thing I just did right now with you guys? What did I just do? I just did a giveaway. Now, everybody did not take advantage of the giveaway. This is one thing I also want y'all to understand. This is one thing how I pre-qualify people, right? Now, typically in the different setting, it just depends on the environment. Now they calling me. It depends on the environment. Will I give away a book or not? But how many of you guys made an investment to be here today in this room? You invested to be here. So for me, this book cost me $5. It's just a high-priced business card. And so instead of me trying to sell a $20 book, when I have a program, well, all I need is one person, I'm gonna get my money back. I'm going to offer you something that you'll never forget. Yes, yes? You pre-qualified yourself when you bought your ticket to be in this space. Does that make sense? So there's ways of how I leverage my book. So depending upon whatever it is that you do, even if you are working in corporate and you want to be able to educate in corporate, if you want to be able to speak in schools, leveraging your book the right way will allow you to produce profits. Now we're going to get into this training though, but I just want y'all to understand the value in this, darling. All right, now, everybody say this out loud. And those for y'all who are writing, I want you to type this in the chat. People need to hear my story. After me, guys, I want you to repeat that. People need to hear my story. People need to hear my story. Absolutely. Do you know that there is a woman or even a man right now that is sitting at the edge of the bed and they are dealing with something that you overcame? No matter how small you may think what you've overcome is, because sometimes we look at our life, because think about it, any kind of setback, we've 100% been able to get over it. In some way, we're fighting through it. Yes, yes. How do I know? We're here. Does that make sense? But there's somebody that's like, dog, I don't know how to get a job in that field. I don't know how to overcome this ailment. I don't know how to rebuild this relationship. It's the small things, and what many people do is they say, well, I'm going to write a book to tell my whole life story. Now, how many of y'all got called by Oprah yet? Oprah called anybody yet? See, I said, it ain't until Oprah called me on a, listen, when Oprah calls me, it's like, Taria, how are you doing? That's when I'm like, oh, I'm writing my bio. The bio's getting done. Oprah knows my name, right? But until then, I know that there's somebody that's literally Googling, how do I overcome depression? Because I went through it. And in a way, many people will look at a person from the outside in and say they could have never went through that. And I see myself in them. How do I overcome a heartbreak? Anybody ever had their heart broken? And you had to keep going, go to work, put a smile on, see him or her, right? Social media, you'd be like, oh. Who is that? Who is this girl? Right? And so all of us have something in us that somebody is looking up. And by the way, most of us think that we need to write a book specifically parallel to what it is that we do. I wrote a book about overcoming depression. And because I wrote a book about that, there's a woman or a man who now wants to know how to do what I do, but because I wrote that, they relate to me, they feel more comfortable. It allows them to be able to say, I know, like, and trust this person. Yes, yes? So it doesn't always have to be directly connected, but we do want to, eventually create a book that connects to your actual transformation. Now, why do you need to write a book? Number one, to grow your business or launch a business. So for many of us, we're maybe just getting started in the business space. Yes, yes? But we want to know, how do we get our business out there? How can we step out as an influencer? Writing a book is the best way to build credibility. My very first book was called A Vision of Freedom, How to Live the Life of Your Dreams, right? I recently, like maybe a couple years ago, I changed it to a 6-figure vision. Do you know that ain't nobody ever came up to me and say, well, are you really free? Is your life of freedom? Nobody has ever said, do you really make 6 figures? See, the assumption is that if she wrote it, she must know it. Now, when I get on the stage, I better confirm that I know what I'm talking about, because then they'll see through it. Yes, yes? But the truth is when you write a book about a topic, nobody asks you, well, do you got a doctor's in this? Like, are you certified? in this? You know, how many years of training? Think about it. When we go to the doctor's office, do we ask the doctor, well, how many years of training did you take? Most of us don't even look at the degrees. Yes, yes? And so building a business is a great thing. I always like to use the example of a massage therapist. How many of y'all have gotten a massage like within the past 30 days, right? Okay, I make it my business to get massages as much as I possibly can. I love them. It's a wonderful pastime. A glass of wine and some massage, right? Now, why do you go to get massages? Why? For health reasons, her back. Remember that, back, okay? What else? What are the other reasons why? Where do you go? Self-care. How do you feel? Great. Ooh, great. Do you feel relaxed? Okay, Pete, you said what? Released. Ooh, release. What are some other words? Why do y'all go get massages? Anybody else have a different one? Stress. To relieve stress. What? To run? Fun. Okay, at first I thought you said the runs. I was like, what? You got to massage that out of there, right? Okay. So, but there's all kind of reasons. But think about it like this. She said back. How many people do we know that are affected with back problems right now? What if I was a massage therapist who strictly focused on women who are busy entrepreneurs dealing with back problems, and I showed them how to relieve their back problems? And so as a massage therapist, I write a book about back problems, not about massages. Do you see what I'm saying? And one of the ways to relieve your back problems is what? Get a massage. Another way might be doing some yoga, right? Now what did Maya talk about? Partnerships. I can partner with other yogis or yoga teachers and say, listen, let's work together. Y'all see what I'm saying here? And so I love using that example. Speaking. Now, child, y'all don't stop getting on the stage as a speaker and don't got your book in your hand. At least one time, at least have it up. Let me tell you why this is so important. Because when I'm doing all of this and I got my book in my hand, subconsciously, y'all want it. People want something they don't got, right? And so as a speaker, this is an income generating tool. Maya laughing at me. When you're speaking, yes? I went to an event one time, and this young lady slayed. Actually, she was from Maryland, Baltimore. Slayed it. She was talking about social media, and she made two mistakes. I believe every time you get on the stage, you should be collecting coins or contacts. The first thing that I did with y'all is I collected what? Because contacts lead to coins. Yes, yes? I'm building my database. What we doing? Right? Now, she got up and slayed her talk. At the end, the folk was begging for an offer. They just standing there. I said, why you ain't got no book, girl? She was like, oh, I ain't got time. Okay, but you also didn't make no offer. So we got to make some time for it. Dennis Kimbrough then comes in. Anybody ever heard of him? Yep. Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. Now, everybody didn't know who he was. He comes in. First of all, he was 30 minutes late. No shade, Mr. Kimbrough. But he was 30 minutes late. He comes in. He just, okay, tell everybody come sit down. We just sit down. He just sit down at the thing. He pulled up his book. He talked a lot about the journeys in his book. He read an excerpt from the book. At the end of his conversation, he said, everybody come follow me. Come get my books. The whole group left to go get his books. That man sold thousands of dollars in books. Now, regardless, because he might have not been able to make an offer, because a lot of times as a speaker, when you're speaking on other people's platforms, they may not necessarily want you to sell from their stage. So how can you still leave an impact? How can you have people to walk away with something tangible so they'll forever remember you? And when the title is right, baby, they're not throwing the book away, right? Does that make sense? And so as a speaker, you want to be able to leverage your book. I had another young lady who was speaking. She's been pitching herself. And so hopefully, if you guys are entrepreneurs, you don't have to be the best speaker. By the way, I don't even classify myself as like a motivational speaker. I'm a teacher. I just get up here. Y'all see what I did? I took my Invisaligns out for those of y'all who was here earlier. I'm just going to be myself. I'm going to get up here and teach, do what I do. Lucky it ain't wine o'clock, because at wine o'clock on a Zoom, you might see me. But I'm just telling you, so I'm one of those personable type of speakers. However, I had a young lady who was pitching herself to speak in schools. Anybody have a desire to speak at schools? Whatever age level? Okay, great. So as when you pitch yourself to speak in schools, a lot of times schools will tell you they don't got money for speakers. That's what they say. But guess what they do got money for? Books, educational material. One of our students, Dr. Jasmine Zapata, she's always sharing how these schools are buying. I think her recent was she pitched herself and they ended up buying. She said, well, since you can't pay for me to speak, I need you to buy at least one copy for the student and a second copy for them to take home of every graduating student. And they said, no problem. I think it ended up being like 200 graduates. And so they bought 2 copies for each one of the students. So now she can come and teach. But see, then you got to learn how to leverage this piece, right? So once you give a book to someone, you also need to make sure that you're qualifying them in some way, shape, form, or another by getting their contact details. And we'll talk more about that if we have enough time. The third reason why is to build influence. If you want to build influence in a space, if you ever overcome, you want to be a relationship expert and you want to tell people how to overcome a breakup and how to be happy being single, because that is also a relationship expert. Being in love with yourself, taking yourself out on dates, that's relationship with who? You, right? Now, you write a book about how to be happy and single, it immediately makes you an influencer. Yes, yes? And then if you write it right, and you separate yourself from everybody else that's out here talking about the same exact thing everybody else is talking about, that's when you got the media wanting you to come and speak. That's when you got people, hey, can you come and talk about that at our conference? Hey, can you do a podcast interview so we can interview you about this particular topic, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, yes? Yes, yes?
All right. Yes.
All right. Everybody that's typing in the chat space, I want you to type, there is purpose in my pain. I want you guys to repeat it after me. There is purpose in my pain.
There's purpose in my pain.
See, you thought what you have gone through in life was for you. You thought the tears that you've shed were for you. And I'm just a big believer, guys. Call me crazy, but whenever it's a setback that happens, it is my responsibility to make that a testimony and testify. Are y'all hearing me? When I go through a thing, I know it's not for me. I know it's because there's another person who is looking on how to overcome that particular problem. And I like to call them challenges. I don't really like to call them problems because in a challenge, it's now like, okay, how do we solve the challenge, right? And so you must understand that, think about it, whatever it is, what is the straw that broke the camel's back? Why did I decide to start teaching books? It's because, let me tell you what it was. So I was in network marketing. I used to be in 2 different companies. And I used to come back and forth from Virginia. I live in Atlanta now. And I would come back and forth from Virginia to Baltimore, to New York, all up and down the East Coast, North Carolina, South Carolina, back to Atlanta. The first product we sold was called, everybody called it the Body Magic, but we had other products. Anybody remember that? Where you could drop 3 sizes in 10 minutes without diet pills, exercise, and surgery? Yes. Honey, we used to be putting everybody in the Body Magics. Then you had that before and after, honey. The ladies be like, I'm not taking this off. It was like super ingenious, right? Then the second product I got into was a coffee business. And we were selling coffee, because who don't drink coffee, right? And so both of those companies, I was able to hit the top level of leadership in the companies. But I'll never forget, I remember it like yesterday. I had just become a diamond in the company. It was called Organo Gold. And I sat down with this lawyer guy, and I was like, I'm feeling myself. I pulled up in a nice Mercedes. I'm living in a nice townhome. I'm doing it. And I'm, trying to now retouch back to people who, like doctors and lawyers and people that I saw, that I'm trying to get into their networks, right? So we're sitting down and we're conversating, and he's like, so what you doing with your life? And I was like, well, everything is going great. And I was like, well, what's going on with you? He's like, well, I just made partner. I was like, oh, well, congratulations. And he just got engaged and all types of stuff. And I was like, dope. And I was like, well, I sell coffee. He was like, what? You got your own coffee business? I said, no, well, I'm a distributor with this coffee company, and we sell it through the company. And so when he realized it was network marketing, he was like, now, in my mind, I was like, now I know he is not trying to play me, because I probably make a couple more dollars than he do, but I didn't say nothing. It was just my ego was kicking in. And I said, okay, he doesn't respect me. He doesn't respect me as an entrepreneur. In fact, 75% of the population does not look at network marketing as a business. They call it a scheme, pyramid, scam, whatever you want to call it, right? In fact, do you know that 90% of the population never have success that enroll into network marketing? They never make a full-time income. So I get it. Because that means that if you know someone who was in one of those things, 9 times out of 10, they had no success. And so you like, that thing is a scam, right? So I got it. So I said, well, how can I be respected? And I said, I'm going to write a book. Y'all, everybody say the door is open. The door is open. Yes, they did. Because let me tell you something. People was like, can you come and speak at our real estate conference about goal setting? Me? Yes. Then I had a bridal organization that said, can you come and talk to these people in the bridal world how to do vision boards? What? I don't know nothing. Listen, I'm still trying to get engaged. Jesus, send them. But I'm here talking to people in this industry about vision boards and goal setting. Why? Because I wrote a chapter about goal setting and vision boards. I had so many organizations now inviting me to be on their stage, but before they never wanted me to do it because they thought I was going to get up in there and try to pitch these people to sell coffee. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so now I wrote a book that instantly made me an expert about goal principles or success principles. And these are all just things that I actually applied in my life. And so there's a purpose in anything you've been through. That was a part of my pain. And I said, now I'm going to show other people how to turn one situation, because it's not the whole thing. You can pick one thing. Many of us, Dr. Miles Monroe, he said it. He said, the challenge that we have as a community is that God gave us a lot of gifts, but we could get rich off of one of them. We're dividing our time too much. We're trying to operate in this gift, in this gift, in this gift, in this. Oh, I can teach that, and I'm going to teach this, and I'm going to teach that. I was so bad. I'm telling y'all from experience. I used to teach public speaking. I had a social media course. I had a web design course. I had my book course. I had how to get people to events course. And I would get on a call with a client and be like, now what course are you in? I didn't even know what they had enrolled into. And on top of that, I was undercharging because I couldn't dedicate enough time to being the best in my craft. Yes, yes. So I was trying to spread myself, teach all these different things. And then at the same time, I was overworked. I don't know if anybody can relate to that. Like overworked and underpaid, you're supposed to get more than what you getting. And then you see John Doe online kicking his feet up in the beach talking about freedom. You be like, no, wait, what? Y'all, there's purpose in your pain, but pick a purpose. Now, 80% of authors, they actually make anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 per year, not per month, per year. And the reason, number one, is because they've never planned the purpose in their book. Remember, when I told you I wrote my first book, it's because I sat down with who? Who was the lawyer? Y'all remember that story I just told y'all? Okay, who did I sit down with? Okay, this is what we're going to do. The lawyer. Some of y'all wasn't in here when I made the disclaimer. Y'all, it's hard being on a stage and talking in front of people that are just staring at you. Imagine if you were switched and you say, hey, something, something, and then they just like, how would that make you feel? And I know that we are all here because we want to learn and we want to support our brothers and our sisters. And I think if it's one thing that we can learn how to do is when we do go to an event, because y'all, you can't get your time back. And so I'm going to give you all of me because you can't get your time back. You can get more money. The money that you spent to come here, you can get that back. But your time, God not going to give it back to us. So please play full out. I can see y'all got masks, but I can tell when you talk through your mask too. Okay? So please, y'all. I'm just saying that because one day you're going to be speaking in front of people, or maybe you won't. You might just be speaking to one person, but imagine that. And you didn't come here not to participate. So I'm not going to make y'all, I told y'all, you don't got to pay for nothing. So credit cards up, we're going to have a good time. So who was I talking to? Who was I talking to? Lawyer. Okay, see, that's good. All right, so the lawyer, right? I wrote my very first book because I wanted to be respected as an entrepreneur. There was a purpose in that, not just for the reader. Many authors, they write their book and they only think, well, I just want to help change the world. Okay, great. But how is the book going to also help you? Is it going to get you on more college stages? Because if that's the case, when I wrote my book about depression, I had nothing but wine bottles on the front, because if anybody's ever experienced it, wine, you try to drink it because you can't sleep. So that's what I drank a lot of, and it didn't really work, but you drank it, right? They said you might not want to have bottles of wine if you're wanting to speak in front of colleges. Yes, yes? Right. If you want to be able to speak to coach men and women, you may not want to have a book with pink. I mean, well, you know, you might get some men with pink because, you know, yeah, some men do love the pink, right? But they're going to think, the assumption, first of all, being a woman in business, the assumption they always make is that you only work with women anyway. How about that, right? They automatically assume, oh, you must only work with women. No, I don't. I work with women and men. But of course, the majority of my audience is women. But you got to figure out the purpose. Do you want it to get you on the news? If you want to write a book, there are people who will literally write a book for the purpose of getting on the news. There was a guy I had met, I went to this NLP conference in California, and he wrote a book about how he was not going to pay for his kids' college tuition. Extremely controversial. He's a business coach, though. Don't got nothing to do with business coaching, but because of the title, the news was like, the audacity. Bring him up. We need to hear what he's talking about. Now, he's on Good Morning Today, or whatever these shows are called, right? And guess what he can use that as? That right there builds additional credibility, influence, right? So now he's up there. We've got this business coach that teaches NLP who says he's not paying for his kids' college tuition. Talk about it. Well, in my studies, one of the things I teach my clients, now he's going to refer back to what he does. You see what I'm saying? So you got to plan the purpose of your book. Number 2, who is your audience? Who said this yesterday? If you're trying to serve everyone? Ryan, right? A lot of people say, well, everybody's my audience. Nope. And this is one thing I always stress to people. A lot of times when people are trying to figure out who's their audience, 9 times out of 10, when you're first getting started, your audience is the person who relates to you most. You have one specific thing that you know how to do, though. So, like, if you want people to trust you, they need to feel like they can relate to you. Oh, I see myself in you, right? But you know how to do the one thing that I need help with. You understand what I'm saying? So I'll post pictures of my dog, because most of my clients, they're going to be dog lovers, right? I'll post pictures of wine, because my clients know we likes a little glass. And I'm a little bit of a wine snob. You know, I mean, still do a little bit, but I'm not doing no Sutter's Homes? You better not do me. What is that? Are you screwing the top of that? Let me see. Let me make sure. Right? Right? Certain things. Most of my clients are either single women or they're women who are married, but they're singularly running their business. Right? So I know who my audience is, and most of them are close to me. So when I'm communicating with them, I can talk to them in a language that they understand. You know, I think he was also talking about how, you know, I don't know if I want to put my picture on the front. And a lot of times we're like, should I put my picture? Because I want to relate to all nationalities. Y'all, black people, we are the highest consumers. Why are we trying to run away from our people? About 95% of my clients are all black, and they're amazing. You got one out the bunch every now and then, but that's in every nationality, right? And so it doesn't matter, like, focusing on things like that. You need to focus on the challenges, focus on the characteristics. So you got to know, who do you serve? You also need to know things like their age. People say, well, I serve 18-year-olds all the way to 75. Y'all, the challenges that an 18-year-old is having today is not the same challenges of a 21-year-old. Think about it. It's not the same challenges of a 25. At 30, as a woman, if we're still single, we're thinking like, wait a minute, versus a girl who's 21, and she like, I'm turning up. That makes sense? When you hit 50, the things that your wisdom that you have, your experiences that you have are not the same as someone who is even in their 40s. And so when we're trying to say, well, I help all people, I remember this guy, he was like, I want to work with high school kids. I said, now at the time I was like, well, what's the nay-nay? You know, the nay-nay, right? Or no, this is, I don't know, whatever, one of them things, right? I said, do the nay-nay. He was like, I was like, where your J's at? You ain't got no fitted hat? He in here suited and booted. You think they listening to you? Why do you think E.T. dresses the way he dresses and talks the way he talks? Because his audience, when he first started off, were high schoolers. He can't go in there and talk about, yeah, so today, right? You have to know your audience, guys. And so that's why I can get on social media and cut up and beat away, because I know who I'm serving and how I serve them. Yes, yes? Yes. All right, number 3, marketing. Y'all, Amazon is not marketing. Matter of fact, let's talk about it real quick. I'm about to figure out how I can delete all my books from Amazon if I possibly can. Stop selling y'all books on Amazon. And I know everybody, because this is the thing. Just because the majority tells you to do it, does that mean you're supposed to do it?
Come on now.
No. First of all, I always sell my books for more on Amazon. Because I never wrote my book to sell it. I wrote it as a tool to build my database. So when I sell my book on Amazon, Amazon don't give me the contact information.
No.
Not only do they not give me the contact information, they then start marketing to my lead. Oh, we recommend these 5 books based on what you bought. Y'all know that? How about the real gotcha? I went online and Google yesterday. I was searching my name because Judy told us to search our name and see if you're LinkedIn. I scrolls down, I see for sale. Yes. They got my books on Amazon for 30% off. Wow. I didn't create that sale. And it said from who? Amazon. Amazon is selling my book for 30% off. Now, I price my books at $97 on Amazon because I want you to go to my website. But do y'all understand that's not marketing? And everybody's like, but I want to be an Amazon top seller. Do y'all know I've never had, out of the 5,000 plus, nobody has ever asked me, before I enroll into your program, are you an Amazon top seller? And some people will try to debate with me like, no, people ask me that all the time. No, they don't. You just tell them. 9 times out of 10, I'm an Amazon top seller. The challenge with our community, y'all, is we become more addicted to titles than results. We've become more addicted to a title than transformation. We need to have all these prefixes and suffixes before we feel like we are validated. You have been validated since the day you were born. When you overcame what you overcame, that's your validation. Certified? I'm certified in life. And so, y'all, all these titles that they keep putting on our community, these labels that they give us to make us feel like we deserve it. No, nobody has ever invested a dime with me because of an Amazon top seller. And I did it because I sometimes have to prove my people wrong because I know who my people are. But you don't know because you ain't never did it. All right, let me do it. I did it. Guess how much I made? Like $50. People will charge people like $5,000 to be an Amazon top seller. Here's the trick. That's all you do. You title it in a category that is least used, but still kind of close to your thing. You create a campaign. You sell it for $1. You sell your book for $1. Is that something that we should really even recognize because you just went around and hooked the system and you like really finagled your way? Like, is that something we really want to be celebrated for? Or can we be celebrated because you say, you know what, I changed 10 women's life? Let's celebrate that. I've impacted this many people. Yes, yes? So marketing, what is marketing? Well, I did marketing with you guys today. I offered you guys in exchange of your contact information because you bought a ticket to be here. Now, if y'all didn't buy a ticket, I wouldn't normally do the free giveaway. I would sell the book if like that's the only thing I could offer, but that's still an offer, right? Marketing is making sure you have your tangible book everywhere you go. I like to sit at the bar all the time. Okay? Because it's great networking. And I like to sit at bars where my ideal client hangs out. People that got money, at least enough to invest. So I'm not sitting at, I'm not going to sit at the bar anywhere. It's going to be specific bars. And I'm always going to have 2 copies of my book. Boop, right there on the bar. When people drink, they like to talk. What is that? It's my book. It's $20. I swear to God, I say that every time. It's my book. It's $20. But then they see the title, Don't Go Broke Trying to Be a Business Owner. Oh, what do? Are you a business coach or something? Yeah, I actually show entrepreneurs how to write profitable books. What? And then it creates a whole conversation without me having to say a doggone thing because I'm an introvert. Now, if I drink 1 or 2 glasses, I become extroverted. Okay, really. Okay, I be talking all across. Hey! By the way, how many of you guys consider yourself introverts? Raise your hand. Do you know some of the highest paid professionals in the world are all introverted? Yeah. I did a post. I'm going to have to find it again. Because a young lady had messaged me and was like, I'm just introverted and I'm scared. Because now extroverts, because we know you're not one. So we are extrovert. But no, let me tell you the pros and the cons. Because as an extrovert, she's the one who y'all, as introverts, we can just hang behind her, right? Because she's going to come talk to everybody. But as an introvert, we're very, like you said, Maya, we're going to pay attention to who we need to talk to, and we're very intentional with what we say out of our mouths. So when we speak, most people listen because they like, whoa, you speaking? Intentional, right? So there's pros and cons to it. I need y'all to understand. So don't look at that as a bad thing, as a handicap. It's actually a blessing. Now, I've got friends who are I got my homegirl, Brooklyn. She's an extrovert. When we going out, I'm just going to let her do the talking. She going to connect. She like, girl, I met this, and I'm like, put me onto that one then. You see what I'm saying? Because she going to do the work for me, yes? So that's a blessing. Everybody say that's a blessing. That's a blessing. Only focusing on book sales. Y'all, as I stated, I never became an author to sell a book. I needed respect. He tried to disrespect me. So I said, how can I be respected? So I wrote the book, and so now my intention is not just how many books can I sell. My goal is how many qualified potential clients can I get my book in their hands. Now, if you were not qualified, then that maybe doesn't count. But the ones of you guys that are here today, y'all are all qualified potential to work with me. Does that make sense? So if my goal for this month is, okay, I need 50 qualified, well, I might go, okay, Dakisha got an event. How much did they pay? Okay, that's qualified. I'm going to give a book to every single person who qualifies themselves. Yes, yes? So let's just say 20 people took advantage. That's 20. Now I only got 30 left. Yes? Then I can be able to sell when I'm going on live. I do live broadcasts and things like that. But the marketing has to be intentional, and we cannot only focus on book sales. All right, let's get into it. Now, how to write the right book. Number one, like I said, we got to know the purpose. The goal of your book. What is the purpose? Not just, I want to write a book to tell my story. Everybody has a story. Show of hands. How many of y'all in here ever been through something? Raise your hand. Everybody look around. Look around. Everybody, 100%. People be like, oh, I need to tell my story because I got something to tell. All of us do. We all been through it, right? But it's how we tell it. I believe in how-to instructional-based books. Dakisha told us, what is the information industry? Coaching industry is going to be what? How many billion? $325 billion. And that was honestly, it was supposed to have been 225, but then we had the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And then we had people like re-looking at their lives like, I'm about to get into a different profession. Everybody became entrepreneurs, and some people learned how to work at home. Now people are online Googling, how do I ... Yep. The ... is where you need to be in front of. And there's so many ... I'm telling y'all, listen, there's so many specifics. I found a physical trainer that works with people specifically who have diabetes. Do you know that there are organizations that are diabetic organizations, Diabetes 2, where he can now position himself with those organizations, not just on social media telling everybody to lose weight. I'm talking to people who are dealing with diabetes. Does that make sense? And so you got to figure out the purpose of this book. Who is it going to serve? How is it going to serve them? And what's the next step? People do not buy self-help books because they want to read the book. They want the promise that the book is making. I read this book. It's called The Power of the Pum Pum, but the other word, right? I just don't feel comfortable saying it. It's kind of weird. So the Pum Pum. And then the subtitle is like, how to get a man to do whatever you want him to do, how you want him to do it or something. I ain't never met this lady, but I saw the title. I said, girl, put me on, right? I ain't never read a book so fast. Okay, you got to do what? Now, in the book, she teaches you how to do some stuff that I personally believe is a little witchy, kind of crafty. So I was like, I ain't going to do that, right? Like, I don't want to, trick a man. I don't know. I guess if somebody of the cloth would tell me it's okay. I don't think they will, though. But, so I said, I'm telling you, and because I tried it. Chad, you're supposed to do, some type meditations and stuff. Y'all get the book. But the whole time that I'm reading it, look, I'm telling you, you be breathing and doing all type of stuff. I was doing it. I was like, oh, shoot, this worked. I'm sorry, Lord. But look, the whole time I'm reading the book, do y'all think that I'm like, this is all that I need? No, I'm like, what's her number? Yeah. What's her website? Do she got some coaching? Can she show me one-on-one the technique? And most people, that's what they're looking for. And while we'll say, right, just look it up, y'all look it up, y'all. Y'all let me know if we got any people in here that can tell me, you know, if you can quote the Bible, let me know if that's witchy, because if it's not, I'm doing it. But I'm gonna do it. Okay. But I think it is, so I ain't gonna do it. All right. So, but you must remember, when somebody buys a book, how to do something, they're really looking for the result. And so a lot of times the way I look at a book is it's the appetizer. It's the introduction. Do y'all know 70% of most people who buy your book won't even read past chapter 1 anyway? Yep. You're like, well, why I write the book? Because it's a marketing tool piece. And I'm not talking about these ebooks that these influencers got people out here. These influencers be having 300,000 followers telling you to go sell an ebook because they say, I did it and I made $20,000 in 2 minutes. They got 300,000 followers. I'm talking about a tangible book. So when you are out, you are seen as the expert. Never leave home without your books. Yes, yes? So, okay, so your purpose. Listen, y'all know I could talk about this all day long because the way that I teach books is not the way that most people think about them. See, most of us thought we should write a book just so that we could say we did it. No. There is I wish my grandmother would have told me stories and how she was able to overcome the challenges that she overcame as a woman growing up in South Carolina during times where segregation was still a thing. Could you have taught me that? Wish I could have talked to my father about him leaving from high school and going straight into the military. Can you teach me how did you transition totally and disrupt your life to go into the military? You know, specifics. And so you got to plan the purpose, set goals. So for me, and there was more that I was going to go into, but I can't overwhelm this because we got more to do today. Set goals. Authors are not selling because they are not setting goals. So the first goal that I would like for us to focus on is, what is your income goal? Okay? Your monthly income goal. Now, a book allows you to turn your business into at least 3 streams of income, which I'm going to talk about. Let's say your monthly income goal is like $5,000, right? Well, you might be selling a package that might be $497. Now, my favorite number is starting at $497. And so I like what you said. You was like, this is what I started at. I'm a teacher or I'm a coach that teaches off principle and not theory. There are coaches out here that be like, no, you need to be selling your stuff for $3,000. And you ain't sold nothing for $25 yet. You like, but you ain't going to be, ain't nobody selling nothing for $20. I ain't sold it for $25. I'm not comfortable, right? So I want you guys to be able to get into a place where you're comfortable but never stay there. Yes, yes? Because when you first launch your products and your services or your coaching, you're going to have it at a lower price because you also got to figure out, what is it that I maybe thought they needed that they didn't need it? What is the things that I did not think of? And you get that through the coaching, yes? So let's say your goal is $5,000 and you have a $497 package. Well, we know that we need to sell 10 of those in order to make $5,000. Or is it 20? 20. Is it 10? 10 times 5? Yeah, 10. So 10 of those, right? So my question then is, how many books do I need to actually get in qualified hands in order to get it? See, we be working, because some of us try to go straight to the premium, and we haven't really had a chance to give somebody an appetizer, right? They haven't had a chance to connect with us. And a book allows you to be that person. So you want to set your goals, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Now, also you need to have an outline. I recommend that your book have 7 or 10 chapters. 7 steps to this, 10 steps to that. Why 7 and 10? Does anybody want to guess why I choose the number 7 and 10? Psychology, absolutely, absolutely. I heard something else? I said number of completion, yeah. But that's connected to the psychology. 7 is a recognizable number. And many of us are comfortable with 7. You understand? Imagine if I said 6. Some of us would be like, ooh, 6, 6, 6, 6, right? 7 is also just enough. It's enough numbers to not be overwhelming, as well as 10. I had a friend who wrote a book, 100 and something reasons. I can't remember the exact number. 100 and something reasons why you should date multiple men. I'm overwhelmed thinking about that. Like, what, girl? What are you talking about, right? I'm confused. That sounds like too much work, right? But 7 and 10 are recognizable numbers, and I believe anything beyond 10, you write another book. Has anybody ever heard of John C. Maxwell? So this is the challenge that many authors have. They write this one because we done took 20 years to finally write it, right? And so we write the book, and we like, I'm done. The challenge with that is, by the way, if it took you 20 years, technically it didn't take you 20 years. You just had it in your head for 20 years. You just never sat down to do it. Let's be real. But the way, and everybody knows him for what? Leadership. John C. Maxwell. I was at an event recently that I was hosting a panel, and he was there. I didn't think he was going to physically be there. For some reason, I thought he was just going to show up on the Jumbotron. Child, we finished talking from our event, walked down to the back. Here he goes, standing here. I was like, now, as an introvert, y'all know how we do. We be afraid to say something because we know we're going to say something stupid. Like when you put on the spot, I was put on the spot, and I said something stupid. I was like, damn. I didn't know what to say. I was like, I talk about you all the time. He was like, okay, come on. I was like, dang, I could have asked him something like, But anyway, so John C. Maxwell got on the stage, says 21 irrefutable laws. He has 26 editions of 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. But that's just one of the hundreds of books that he's written on leadership. We write one book because we wrote a general book. We didn't become an expert in a space. Yes, yes? You become an expert in a space, in a transitional space or transformational space, and you write about that over and over. He said, I'm working on my next book on leadership right now. John C. Maxwell. He's multi-millionaire. He's got it on private planes. His course, people pay him what, $7,000, $10,000 to be certified? And he's still writing books on leadership. And so you must know, I don't believe in writing these big, thick books because you write a book to write another book. But when you come up with a process, you can get them done in days. We have a 3-day book camp. We promise 80% of your book is done, but we give you money back. And we haven't had to do it yet because it's not a difficult process, yes? All right. How much time I got? What time? I got it. I'm almost done. Okay, everybody type this in the chat space. Type this in the chat space. I should be paid for my purpose. Everybody here, let's repeat after me. I should be paid for my purpose. Let's try it again. I should be paid for my purpose.
I should be paid for my purpose.
We got to stop putting money on this pedestal. Back in the day, before people made paper money or gold coins, when I wanted something from someone, I would exchange something of value. If I had some goats and I want a little bit of bacon, I might give you some goat milk for some bacon. If I had some rice and I wanted something, bread, I would exchange some rice for some wheat. It's called bartering, right? Exchanging value for value. Then, man said, let's make money. Now we started creating this paper money and credit card and Bitcoin. And we lost the value of the value for value, right? But this is the thing. So man made the money. God created time, though. All the time that we've been here for these past couple of days, no matter how much money we make from this event, we can't say, God, I need you to give me that time back that I spent at the conference. That time I spent hanging with these people, can I get it back? Dinner was horrible. Can I get my time back? We can get a refund on our food, but we can't get a refund on the time we've invested. Time. How many of us are at least 18 years old in here? So we got 18 years of some kind of value. Time. But then we put money so much more higher, which was created by man. Time, God, man, money. Why are we doing that with our money? We holding on to the money, but we're not paying attention to the time that we invest into things. I'm going to tell you, I don't know how many, the exact final number of people that were registered, but first, give it up to yourselves for being here. Give it up, seriously. For everybody that's watching online, give it up to yourself because you have a value in your time. Some people say, it's nice outside. I'm finna just lay out. We can lay out tomorrow. But we gotta stop putting so much value. And the reason why I'm stressing that is because the reason many of you won't charge what you're worth is because you're putting too much value on money versus your time. Took you how long to make that outfit? It took you how long to put this? It's this rhinestone cup I got The lady did it hand by hand. And somebody was like, oh, it's $100. Ma'am, she did hand by hand. $100 ain't nothing, right? Y'all, we have to believe in this and know that it's just money. Money comes back. It's designed to flow. It was originally called currency. Flows. It can't come to you if you don't do nothing with it. You sow a seed of nothing, you get a harvest of what? All right. You should be paid top dollar for your purpose. So my life changed. Let me tell you where I started looking at things differently, and I'm going to wrap it up pretty soon. So I used to live in Virginia. I graduated from Hampton, finally got this job working as a database administrator, making $26,000 a year with my degree in computer science. And I had, like I told you, I had already tried all these different businesses. I was a good tripreneur, starting and quitting and starting and quitting and starting and quitting. And then I get the call. Now, my mother, when I was 11 years old, passed away from cirrhosis of the liver. So now I'm just with my dad. I became a big daddy's girl. That's where my love for technology comes from. He was a big techie. And I get a call that he's going to the hospital. Now, at this time, he had already had open heart surgery, having a heart valve replaced. Ooh, this is why I'm big on talking about how I feel. I'm going to tell my feelings now, right? Because I went through the depression trying to hold it back. And that's what I feel like in our community. Like, a lot of us don't know how to appropriately express what we're going through. And we got to learn how to do that better. So I get a call, I'm at work, and they're like, your dad's going to the hospital. Now, mind you, I got a bachelor's in computer science. I have to, first of all, now I got to ask my boss, can I go see my dad? And then I don't even got the money. Now, y'all know on the East Coast, in Atlanta, they don't know much about this, the China bus. Do they still got the China bus? They do? What? I think at that time, this is what, 2005, it was like $25 something round trip. I didn't have enough money for that. How depressing is that? Remember, I'll never forget, like I went home and I was going through the couch to see if I could find some money. It was bad. And found out he had cancer and he ended up passing away. But this was the biggest paradigm shift. Let me tell you, my father, when he passed away, he worked at his job and he was like the head of the tech department. And there was this guy, this Indian guy. And he wasn't Indian American, he was Indian, from India. And he comes and he's barely able to even walk in front of us because my father got cremated. So, everybody's just walking across to pay their respects. And he's barely able to walk. He can hardly keep himself together. And I'm just looking at him like, whoa, like, wow. Like, my dad impacted some people. And then as he walks out, there was this, like a little, you remember them little walls, little bin things, the bin walls, what do you call them things? Partitions, right? Yeah, but you can still see the feet. And he falls to his knees as he's walking out of the door. And at that point, I get chills every time I talk about this because I remember saying to myself, I don't know if my dad knew that he had this kind of impact on people. I'm tired of playing it safe. I'm tired of trying. Like, me to make money, that's not why I'm an entrepreneur. I love knowing that even with you guys, if one person was impacted, I'm going to know when I die, and I'm going to put it in my will. When they say, can the people get up, anybody want to get up and speak? You need to let everybody speak till they done. I don't care how long it's going to be. If it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, let them all speak. People want to leave, they can leave, and tell somebody to say, just like I was saying, if anybody got to go, y'all can go, but everybody going to get a chance to pay their respects. That's how I want it to be remembered, because I help that many people. We keep playing with our time, y'all. We keep playing with our days as if tomorrow is promised. I never imagined I would be standing before you as a woman where both of her parents were gone before I even got married, before I even had some of the biggest success moments in my life. Now, God did bless me with a second mom who I'm grateful for and I get to do stuff for, but that's when my life really changed and I decided to stop playing it safe. and move forward. I like this quote that Dr. Cheryl Wood says, people transform when a transaction takes place. Y'all, you must remember, in the space of entrepreneurship, even in the space of working for someone else, the transaction is the transaction. Whether it's you helping someone in exchange for something, stop doing stuff for people and you're not getting something in return. There's a transaction. It needs to be equal. But when you do that and you make sure that you are getting equal for equal, that's when transformation takes place. Yes, yes? All right, 97% of most people who want to write a book never will. This is why I'm in this space, and this is why I teach the way I teach. I don't just get up here and say, step one to write your book. See, I already know everybody know how to write a book. Let's be real. If everybody in here, your life was dependent upon it, that you better get a book printed, you would figure it out. Right? That's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to just show you how to write a book from chapter 1 to chapter whatever. I'm here to show you how to be able to leverage your book. So remember, you're going to get this PowerPoint, so I'm not going to go through all of this. But for those of you who did get the free link, even if you didn't get the book, but you got the link, you're going to get this PowerPoint that's going to break this down. It should make you multiple streams of income. Redirect readers to your website. I'm going to talk more about that in an additional bonus training that you guys are going to get. Open doors for you as a speaker. It should be of value, not of length. There's books that have no words in them that people pay $40 for. What is that? What is that, y'all? Journals. So why we selling our books for $10? Stop. You know what I'm saying? Straight to the point. Leave a legacy. My book, when I'm far gone, will still be able to be sold, and my family can still make money from my book. It should have a cover that sells, I ain't got time for that, y'all, but I'm telling you, and it should increase your bottom line to your primary business. So this right here, this is going to be the bonus training that I'm going to show you. Your book should be able to turn into at least 3 streams of income just from the book itself, but I show you how to leverage your book so that you can sell what is your premium package. That's what you guys have been hearing about as far as when you do your webinars and things like that, how to hook people in so that you can sell it. Now look at this. It says 10%. And the truth is, it's 20% of the people who are qualified that get your book will actually upgrade to your premium, provided that you follow up. The fortune is in the what? Follow. Yes. So provided that you follow up 20%. So if our package is at $497, that means that we would need to have 10%, 200 people with our books in their hands per month at $497. Now, how do we get more money and work less? We increase our value. That means increase the price. How do you increase the price? Get some results. Get clients with transformation. There's a lot of coaches out here, y'all. I'm sorry, I just gotta say this. Y'all, have discernment when you're investing into your coaches too. There's a lot of coaches that they got huge followings, a lot of likes, but we don't never see no clients with transformation. And I think it's very important before you make an investment into anything, you want to know, as a result of me investing in this, what am I going to actually know how to do? What am I going to get? What's going to be the final end in mind? And then that's what you focus on as a coach. What is my exact transformation? Yes, yes? Yes. So it's not about working harder. In fact, the better that you become as a coach, the less you should work and the more you should make. Mm-hmm. Yes. I know that may sound weird, but it is the truth, right? Okay, so we're going to talk more about this success funnel for those of you who took advantage. Everybody today that took advantage of that text, you'll be able to get access to this success funnel. All right. See, it's because my thing. And I'm also going to show you guys how to execute this. I'm going to show you some different techniques on how to leverage that. Of course, we plug into the webinars. We plug in, so how you use your CRM. Everything works together. This is why Nikisha said she's creating some super friends. She was telling me, listen, I want to create a group of women where we can all help each other and we all speak the same language. So if you sent a text message in, I'm going to show you guys how to be able to execute this. So how many of y'all remember, I don't remember when I first started flying, but like my first flight, but does anybody remember when you first started flying? Anybody? Right, around the time? Right. So I don't remember exactly when. In fact, I'm more of a road warrior. I love to get on the road, but sometimes I got to fly. And I remember when I first got onto that plane and I first started flying and how scared I used to be because, everybody who ain't, it's always the people who ain't never flown. We trying to tell you what it's going to be like. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? But when you fly that plane and you get on the plane, the first thing that you do, you're sitting there on the plane and, You know, they sitting there giving you all the instructions, especially if you're brand new. And they tell you, well, in case the bag drop, the what? The what's going to do? What's going to drop? Where's it going to drop from? Right here. You try to position it. Okay, they say get the card. Y'all know, you see the new flyer, they be like, looking at the card, right? And so they tell you all of that. And then they say you put on your seatbelt. Now you're sitting there in your seat. And then all of a sudden it started taking off. Right? And it's taking off. Every single time when the plane does that, that's when I do my prayer. Lord, please. I promise you, that's one of the most consistent prayers I do when I'm flying. Lord, please and I'm specific, please get us here from Atlanta safely with no turbulence, right? I need none of it, thank you, Lord. And so it's taking off, and you know, sometimes when you hit that turbulence a little bit, bloop, bloop, when you're going up, to me, the takeoff is the scariest part, especially if you get one of them pilots that make it feel like straight up. You'd be like, because then I hear the engine cut off every time. I'd be like, we're going to go back, right? I was like, oh, no. So you're sitting there, you're waiting, and then it then levels out, and then you hear the ding, and then you go look. And you see how beautiful the world looks. You're like, wow. It's amazing. To me, it's one of the most breathtaking things to ever witness is to be at the top of a plane and be able to see, if you're, you know, flying over water or the mountains, to see the land. You're like, oh, look, it's the Coliseum. And, oh, man, look at all of this. It's just amazing. It's one of the best feelings to me when it comes to flying. For me, and I love this quote right here by Leonardo da Vinci. It's going to pull up, maybe so, maybe not. There it goes. He says, once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk with your eyes, walking the earth with your eyes turned upward. For where you have been, you will always want to return. See, I believe that when you finally get this thing right, you learn how to leverage your book, you get your coaching, your speaking, because regardless of your speaking style, your voice needs to be heard. You ain't got to be as animated, and your words, and I make up words, by the way. I don't know big words. I'd be like, free. Y'all know what I mean, right? Y'all be sitting there, most people don't know what the words be anyways. They be like, that was deep. What that mean? I don't know, right? But it's just something about, even if it's one person that you serve and seeing how your impact in their life has changed, you never want to leave that feeling. And so, you know, when we talk about getting ish done, you're not getting it done for you. You're getting it done because you want to be at that space so that you're forever. I never want to leave the space of knowing that my action has impacted. Like, I know that people have been impacted by what I've done. And that's where I hope that you guys get from this. When you take action, you're like, man, I did it, and I had 10 people tell me, man, or 5 people. Because never, you know, I always tell my students, I tell them, never, like, your win, like, never make your win so small. Sometimes you'll be like, well, all I did was talk to one person today. That's a big deal. Because some people ain't talking to nobody. And you got to learn to celebrate your wins, no matter how big or small they may be. Stop looking at what other people on social media are posting. Because some of them don't even be real, they be lying. Learn to celebrate those things, because I'm telling you, it's nothing better. Like, I love it when my clients, I tell them, listen, when you get that box of books, that first fresh box of books, record yourself, because I need to see it. And if God does pull you to cry, do it. Like, don't hold it back, because this took work. Cry on that camera. I say, go live when your books come. You're going to sell more anyway. When they see the box of books, people be like, oh my God, give me some more. But yeah, for those of you who did not get the text message, you can go ahead and text us. I have 2 more books left. So, okay, come on up here. Y'all better, I only have 2 more left. So you got to, I don't care. So let me tell you, let me see. Okay, show it. You said you got a 2? I got 3. You can get this 3rd one. Come get this 3rd. Come get the 3rd. So, she got some more. Okay, by the way, is the $100 bill in there? Okay, let me tell y'all what I just did, though. For those of you who are speakers, right, the speakers and coaches, this is a technique that I want y'all to learn to duplicate. When I go to events, I don't just go to an event and pay attention to only what is said. I pay attention to what was done. So this right here, I'm telling you. So you tell people, why did I make y'all, I got to get off of here, but why did I make y'all get up while I was doing the presentation to do it? Because then it created a fear of loss. This is a selling technique. Fear of loss. People are like, oh, shoot, let me hurry up because that's what some of y'all doing. By the way, my phone was going crazy. I'm getting text messages from people watching virtually. They're texting in. I should have turned the audio up so y'all could have heard it. It was going crazy. Like bloop, 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 right? And so that's a fear of loss, right? They're getting you guys to engage. Oh.
I didn't even know what you were doing, but I saw people getting
She's like, I don't even know what I'm getting, but Exactly. The fear, she had no idea what was even being sold, and she was like, wait a minute. I need this, right? So again, and so this is a technique that y'all, like, because I know everybody now is doing stuff, go to the link and stuff. Nope, I need people, because we are still people of feeling. We have the senses God gave us, so you need to make sure you're using those senses, right? So that's a technique that all of y'all can use. When you're at an event, and if these people pay money to bid, don't be afraid to give away some books. But get them leads. And then if I did it, because this is a new system I just integrated, I would have a follow-up system that starts sending you other stuff, but y'all gonna start getting a free master class and all type of stuff like that. And you can opt out, and I'll never get emotional if somebody opt out, because I only wanna talk to the people who want the transformation I provide. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Taria Vision Yvonne. I'm gonna say one of my quotes I haven't done in a minute. Vision is the art of seeing what's invisible to others, so don't allow people who do not see what you see to break your focus. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, don't you look left, don't you look right. Only stay focused forward on what God has for you. And at the end of the day, my darlings, all will be well. Thank you guys so much for your attention. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. You gonna turn on the music?
I'm trying to
See, I tried to do a little quote so you can turn the music. No.
Bluetooth was all.
Oh Lord. All right. So who we doing? Oh, okay. Another panel.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Connect to the internet.
And everybody on the internet watching, I don't know how many people texted me, but make sure you reply back to the message, and I will ship you guys a book as well. But just reply back, and I'll get your mailing address.
Now, Lee, there you go.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Up, down, up, down. 'Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make 'em stay there.
Ludacris going in on the verse, 'cause I never been defeated and I won't stop now.